Hi guys, we're going to do 11 minutes of legs, getting you out of your chair. So we'll use a chair as a prop if you've got one, assuming we're at the office or somewhere like that. And the office is everywhere these days, home and the office. So let's get you warming up. To warm those legs up, let's come into a forward bend with the legs quite bent. Try and get the fingers on the floor and walk the heels. By the way, if that's too hard for you, you can even just lean on your chair and walk the heels. That's a good option. I'm going to go with that now that I'm here. Can get that hip wiggle going. Warm up the feet and calves and hamstrings and hips. And bend those knees and come gently out of there. And then we're going to do a little chair pose. So from side on, take the hands out at shoulder height. Inhale, lift the chest. And exhale, sink into the heels. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, sink a little. We'll just do about 5 breaths here. We want to warm up, not sweat. Good. Come on, gently out of there. And while we're here, we'll come into a wide-legged position and just soft knees here. I want you to see if you can get your hands down onto the floor. Again, if you can't get the floor, you could use the chair as something to lean on. But basically, inhale and take those hips back a little. Exhale, try and relax forward from the waist. If your back's normal and healthy, you can let your head hang. Good, just a few more breaths. And to come safely out of there, bend the knees, walk the feet in a little, and come gently up. And then let's use your chair. We'll come over and grab the opposite foot if you can, or it doesn't matter too much if you're grabbing the same side foot. Just make sure you're not pulling out to the side. I prefer opposite foot. And pull that heel to the bum as we point the knee to the floor. And exhale, push the hip a little forward. So stretching through that thigh and even a little bit through the hip on that foot we're holding. Good, gently down from there. Let's swap that over. Inhale, pull that heel to the bum. Exhale, relax thigh and hip. And good, come on out of there. And while we're here with the chair, we'll give the hips a little stretch. Releasing the glute can help release the hamstring. So we're going to release the glutes a little bit. With that supporting leg at 90 degrees, cross an ankle onto the thigh. Inhale, lift the head and chest. Lengthen the spine. Exhale, hinge a little forward from the waist, just till we feel that stretch in the hip on the crossed leg. Good, gently out of there. I nearly got carried away and went for more breaths than planned. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, hinge from the waist and relax through that hip. Remember, if you've got a tight side here, it's really wise to spend more time on the tight side. You might just do 30 seconds on the good side and maybe 90 seconds on the other. As a ratio, we don't count seconds, we count breaths. And good, all right, so we loosened the hips. to help the hamstrings. So let's take one foot up onto that chair and lengthen the spine. Try and keep that spine nice and long and try and sink into that stretch. That knee should be slightly bent. The leg's nearly straight, but the knee is soft, not locked out. And the supporting leg's nice and bent as well, so there's some weight in that. Gently up. So switching sides. Okay, if you don't happen to have something to put a foot up on, or your chair's extremely rolly, backup plan here could just be wide-legged and reaching for one leg, but continue with the bench, assuming you have one, the chair. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, relax into the stretch. Even having variety in your stretches is always good. It tends to work you in slightly different ways. And certainly standing up is good because we all sit down too often. So good, next one we'll get into our calves and you can use a wall or a chair here. So I'm going to lean on my chair and take my right foot back, push that heel gently into the floor and then try and ease the hips forward. So inhale, lift the chest and gently press that back heel down, and exhale, gently ease the hips forward. So of course we're not moving this much, but I'm just showing you the direction the hips are moving here, easing them forward. Inhale, a little tension. Exhale, relax into that calf on the rear foot. And step forward to come gently out of there. We'll switch that over. Couple more breaths. And good, stepping forward. All right, so we are doing a bunch of stretches, but we also like to do a little bit of strength. So I want you to work into your glutes now by trying sort of a standing Superman. Now you can have different degrees of difficulty here. So if you do this more upright, you can just pistol grip the fingers and reach up, try and get a straight line through the arms, and then squeeze the bum and tilting forward. Okay, squeeze that glute, try and keep the hips nice and square. And good, we'll switch that over. Pistol grip, squeeze the bum, belly tight, hips and shoulders nice and square. If you're really good at that, you can tilt further forward, or if you need it to be easier, you can stand further upright. If you're really hopeless, you can even keep your rear toes on the floor a little bit if you need to, but that's not preferred. We want those glutes working hard. Good, come on, gently out of there. And we're gonna try our crow pose again. Okay, now that we're nice and warmed up, try and sit down into that crow and lift the chest, relax the hips. Inhale, lengthen the spine, lift the chest a little. Try and have your eyes on the horizon. I suppose that depends where your camera is if you're watching me. Hopefully you've done this a few times and you don't need to look too much. You can just use the cues. And gently out of there. And we'll take the feet nice and wide and try a wide-legged forward bend. So try and get the fingertips onto the floor. Knees are slightly bent. Just careful you don't slip too far out from here. Make sure you got a bit of traction Then you can inhale, gently straighten those legs. Exhale, relax forward from the waist. Let the head hang on this one. And bend those knees, walk the feet in, gently up. And thank you guys, that will be 11 minutes of legs from standing. Health and happiness.